Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lil Joy VA. That is my voice acting title. I'm here with Innocently Creating,
Hello.
an inspiring voice actor of mine, I should say. The first question that I had in mind, how was it landing your first role? Because there are a lot of areas of acting, not just like, your standard like movie set, or how did it make you feel? Obviously, it probably made you feel very good landing your first role. I mean, it
That's
would
one
for
way to put
anyone.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one way to put it. Landing my first voice acting role very specifically was actually rather uninspiring, to be honest. It was, I think it was an Undertale fan dub, if I'm remembering correctly. I just was putting things out there, wanting to try things, because stepping into voice acting from musical theater was definitely different.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like me personally, starting out as a voice actor, I've never taken voice acting or anything like that. No,
Mm.
no courses in college. So, but it was something that I always did just for fun.
Yeah, of
At like,
course.
of course, like when you have like those games, like those early 90 games where they had no dialogue, so you would just come up with, you know, voices for the characters. That's something that I always did. It's a variety, I would say, that people start off in differently. If I had to ask, like, what really made you want to pursue this as a career? Because I know that's like the people question they ask the voice actors. I've heard it so much at like conventions. It's like, what really defined this moment for you to pursue it? Because I know, like, with personal families, like I haven't told my personal family that I want to pursue this as a career because I
Hmm.
fear they will not accept that. It's like, well, son, you're not making six figures, so chill. You
Of
go
course, of
go
course.
go to school, stay in school.
I'd say it's basically like any type of arts career. Most families aren't going to see it as something sustainable because the starving art major theater kid is going to be the most commonplace thing because half of your work, especially as an actor, is auditioning for things, and that's not income. However, again, to answer your question, how I got started going down this path of voice acting is, well, I used to be in theater quite a lot, musical theater very specifically. Do you know the musical Hairspray?
Hairspray. I have heard of it. Yes,
Hmm.
yes. I haven't watched it. I,
That's perfectly fine.
yeah.
Um, its main thing is the main character, the main female lead, Tracy Turnbold. Her whole thing is she's more heavy set as a character, and her whole arc is like overcoming that and being recognized as a person despite her weight.
Mm.
And a bunch of gorgeous girls alongside me were auditioning for that role, all of us a little more heavy set. And this is like my first time doing like going right into community theater, professional theater, things like that out of high school. And I made a lot of good connections there with the other girls auditioning, and we all felt so slighted when the casting agency that did this, despite everything that the character is about, cast a skinny, thin model.
Oh man. Yeah. To work around challenges is definitely a big thing in voice acting. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I know, like, people expect, oh, it has to be this way. They have to be calm, mellow. They have to sound like they have a lot of adrenaline rush in them.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many specifics for the characters, and I think it takes a lot of grit to be like, okay, well, good auditioning with you guys. The main thing that I've been told is that if you really want to hit it off, it's consistency, but it's
Mm-hmm.
also networking. That's something I've been struggling with networking, but after landing a first role, it kind of feels like, oh dang, I got these people around me, you know? And now it's like, okay, we are working as a team to get this work done, this creative work, and you know, birthing something to life with your own voice. Just, I don't know. It inspires others to be like those characters.
Portraying a character definitely has its perks, and if you can inspire others, that's just an added benefit onto acting.
When auditioning, there's a whole process to it. There's like the recording. You don't just record and then submit. I found that out the hard way. I've recorded and then had to like submit an audition, and for some reason at the end of like the recording, it went on for like 2 minutes. I can't be exact. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I was wondering, why the heck did it go for 2 minutes? Well, there was like one little audio recording at the end of the recording, and there's this whole gap of space just of emptiness.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, I've had to do, like, when I first started editing, because I edit in FL, and that's a whole load of work. The denoising, the de-essing, and that whole jazz. And for the bigger actors, it's all done for them. So I think, you know, if you work hard enough in the beginning with what you got, rather than like having it all set in stone on a silver platter, I think builds a greater actor. Because man, it sometimes I have to turn off my fan to record, and it's unbearable with this heat.
Oh, trust you me, I understand. My recording booth is effectively a dramatized blanket fort. I have to turn off all the fans, all the AC, just to record, and afterwards I'm just like, I'm sweating.
I wish there was like
feel comfortable.
No, I don't either. I think a lot of VAs and VOs just don't. Oh,
it's one of the perks though. Your bosses don't know what you're wearing, so
exactly. You can be all in your pajamas if you want. It's so nice. A specific actor or actress, I should say, told me once that like when she told her personal family about her going into acting, there was a deadline, like a 6-month deadline. If you can't land a AAA title role, nope, you shouldn't be pursuing this.
Everybody's journey is different, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But family and yourself are always going to be your harshest critics.
Definitely. 1 month and a half, I kind of want to go back to theater, like just school for theater, just for like the weekends, even though like I work at least like a full-time job, and then I also have this side gig, and now I'm just like, no, I want to go to acting class on the weekends. and the little bit of time I have left is just like, woo, went straight out the window. But hey, I love it. if you don't
living the dream, baby.
Yeah, if you don't love it, I mean, that goes for anything. Like whatever your passion is, you gotta love it. Because this is gonna sound very cringe, but I used to do nightcore videos. Hearing that now is just like, I'm like, speeding up a song? No. And when I always had that feeling, and I still do have that feeling, I'm like, what can I create, you know, that is original? But voice acting was definitely that. For some reason, I just went for it. I think one of the animes that inspired me the most, it's not Toradora. I love that anime to bits, but there's this old anime called Suzuka. It's like an athlete anime, but I watched the dub, and they had like this little extras section, like an extra episode where it was just the dub actors just talking about their characters while they were watching the scenes. And it's like so funny because they can actually relate with the characters, and they also, you know, say like, hey, didn't you appear in this anime? When they like say like a past anime that they have performed in, you know, they said at the end, like they listed down like their whole what if situations if it wouldn't have been a thing. I think for me, if I weren't to be a voice actor, I still think I could do it. But if it's not a like thing that I would do, I think I would have done like, I mean, I do work in behavioral health right now, but I also like to cook. I have a very good chef. I love making food. I think that's what I would do. And I've heard so many others say what they would have done, but what would you do if you weren't?
Well,
And
acting isn't my only income as it is. So, right now I also do digital illustrations a lot for like D&D parties or Twitch streamers, YouTube streamers doing their like emotes and whatnot. Other than that, I do photography and sewing. I'm just
ooh.
all up in all of the arts all of the time.
Do you like well, I mean, you are an illustrator. Oh my gosh, you've made the channel art for my last channel. So if you do want to go check out Innocent's Twitter as well to do some commissions, dude. She has amazing art skill. Go check her out for sure. I
My own
think
model, living proof, baby.
no kidding. Having multiple things besides just acting, because oh my gosh, it's impacted my whole entire life. Like me going into voice acting like this, I view media differently for some reason. I don't know if it's that way for every single voice actor or actress, but I view media in a different way. Whenever a commercial pops up, I'm like, how can I do this? And I'm thinking, ooh, this person must have done like a 5-hour session for these 30 seconds. So,
Impressively, no, actually. Most of the like 30-second commercials that you hear on radio don't even take 30 minutes.
really?
Mhm.
That's something I didn't know. Fun facts, man. That's cool.
I've done a few radio commercials here and there, and it's a very strict, like, you have to be able to get into the time frame, whatever it is you're voicing or saying.
mm,
So it's very demanding, but because it's that demanding and that kind of a very particular skill set that you have to do, it does pay very well. Same as with audiobooks.
oh, wow. I actually did not know that.
Mhm.
Dang. You have all the skills, man. You should start up your own, like, acting class. You should. That would be
I
really
mean,
cool.
in the past, I did do videos on my YouTube channel that were tips and tricks for voice acting, so those things did appear there.
Do they still exist?
They still exist.
Let's go. You said you did, was it a side character in Genshin? I know you kind of alluded to that in the past, right?
There is a character of mine, or voice of mine, words.
No worries.
I did voice a character in Genshin, but I don't believe they have a name, so finding them is very hard.
No, definitely. But the Genshin VAs, they still do like the main cast for like the characters. They must have a lot of lines, and it's like I can understand like how self-care can be a thing in acting because you really need it, especially since you're always in that booth, and you know outside of that, like
Yep.
having interest just alleviate that constant like stage that you have to be on. It's man.
A lot of the times, voice actors, especially in roles that are demanding and continual, like, be it like a One Piece anime or a never-ending game series, they often, make their vocal booth as well loved and lived in as they can to make it not feel like just a stuffy office that they have to go into every single day. Most of the time when these things go about, especially for like the longer standing type episodic things like Genshin or, as I said, One Piece or like Pokemon, It's not an everyday thing that they do. It's maybe one day out of the week that they're like, all right, cool, I scheduled this with the audio engineers and the director, and we're going to do it all in one day and get it done. Sometimes they'll have to do pickups later on, but usually it's all in one day, so it's not an every single day I'm in this stupid booth doing this one particular voice.
That's the funny thing too, is that like, especially when you've done a certain character or even commercial, I've heard stories of having their personal family or friends around them, and then suddenly out of nowhere a commercial just pops up in the background and they're like, hey, isn't that you? So
Yeah.
I think like having those predicaments really bring some light back to, them as VAs.
Unless you're doing like character acting, a lot of it is, particularly like, especially if you're doing a lot of it, unmemorable. Not in a bad way, of course. But if you're doing a bunch of it, you really only remember the people that you're with. So you'll remember maybe some clips that the audio engineer, the director is going with you to like, hey, we need you to sound like this. And sometimes it's like, that's contradicting, so I remembered that. Or it was such a hilarious way to say, be more seductive, like, I want you to envision that you're eating the chocolate with love. Things like that you'll remember, but not the actual recording process.
No, definitely. I think the whole recording process takes time, depending on what you are doing. It could be very quick if it's like a 1 or 2 liner. Or
Right now, right before this, I recorded a line for somebody, and it was not even like 2 minutes that I was in the booth.
I don't have a booth yet. I want to get one sometime soon, but my room's not big enough for that, so I gotta work with what I got. I mean, I recently got an ultra wide monitor. It definitely helps a lot, especially because I could have like the lines right here, and then I could have like the audio software right here, and it just makes it so much easier. Thinking if there's one more question that I had. Who's your favorite voice actor or actress?
Ooh, now you're hitting me with the hard questions finally. Okay.
Yes, let's go.
Oh gosh. I tend to look up to a lot of voice actors that are in my similar range for like voicing, like that's a weird way to say it. There's obviously great voice actors out there, award-winning, they're in everything, Disney, whatever, but I definitely do look up to a lot of anime style voice actors more so, mostly because I've been a weeb for as long as I can remember, so
Dude, I'm in that group too. I grew up watching anime. I recently met Christopher Judge for the first time. I don't know if you know who that is.
I do.
Yeah, he I was intimidated at first when I was standing in the line, but after like meeting him, he's such a big sweetheart, like the most calm, collective, and really chill dude. And I think there's always like this pedestal sometimes that actors or actresses get put on, but we're all just people at the end of the day. One's popularity doesn't make that different from anyone else,
Very true, very true.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, the one that I think I look up to the most, especially because I have met her personally and spoken with her privately, is Lucy Christian.
Ooh. Can you name some roles? I'm sorry.
You're good. Now I just have to think. Good old behind the voice actor. Give me some things. She was Alois Trancy in Black Butler. She's Uraraka in My Hero Academia. Nami in a bunch of One Piece things.
That's cool. I'm sorry. I try to remember names, and it's very bad that I can easily forget names. But you know, if I've heard them and like, I'm a visual, like photographic memory. That's me. That's pretty awesome. If it had to be an actor, I don't know.
See how you put me in the hot seat, huh?
Yeah. Now I can see. See, that's the thing about me. Whenever I put someone else in the hot seat, I want to be in the hot seat.
That's
So
fair. That's fair.
I think, you know, the one that I grew up with, and I've gotten to meet him, was Nolan North. He is an absolute blast of a
That is a
person.
good one. Yeah.
He's like done so much. Like I've mostly known him for like this character from like the Call of Duty series growing up. And I even told him that, hey man, I would stay up till like 5 a.m. playing Call of Duty Zombies, listening to your character, missing school. And he's like, I'm glad I took away from your education. And I'm like, well, no, it was awesome. Because it's a one lived experience, man. Those kind of people that can be so influential to, you know, help others' lives, man, even if they're in their darkest place, it's like it makes it so much worth it. Yeah, for sure. Thank you for coming along for the ride. And if you guys would like to, well, do you want to give your socials so you can have people find you?
Yeah, sure. Almost anywhere. I am known as Innocently Creating. Twitter is a butthead and won't let me have that long of a username. So I'm Creating Love or Innocent_cult.
Wow, I did not know that they like limit the amount of like the at. I did not know that.
Yeah, which is weird when you see some like long names, but apparently Innocently Creating is too long. But yeah.
Anyways, but thank you all for watching. If you guys did like this video, feel free to like, subscribe, comment down below your guys' thoughts and opinions. And if you guys are any inspiring voice actors out there, definitely keep going with it. Don't stop. Don't stop believing. You're gonna have me sing it. Yeah.
Believe it.
There we go. Yeah, but thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.